Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Beautiful sunny day here in West Texas. This is the first official video on our vlog style series on these special serial numbered Puukko knives, these EDC blades. Special little knife, Damascus steel, nice ironwood handles. You guys gonna come along on the whole process and we're gonna go through step by step building this batch of knives together. 15 to 20 knives, something like that. And this is number one right here. So the first thing we need to talk about is the steel. And I just want to mention we'll be filtering in other cool project videos amongst these. So this isn't going to be the only content on here. But anyway, first thing we need to talk about is steel. And if you've been on the channel here very long, you probably already know the answer to that. And that is 50 to 100 plus 15 and 20, because we're making a pattern welded Damascus steel blade here. You're gonna make cool little knives. So 50 to 100, of course, it's got the edge retention and the toughness combination. It's just a great steel. Really like it. It's what I use for almost all of my mono steel blades and some of my Damascus steel blades as well. So I need to come over here to the steel inventory and see what we have here. I've actually got some 1/4 inch by 2 50 to 100 steel, and I don't think I actually have any other stock that I can, well, that's 2 inches. I mean, I like to make my Damascus steel billets at a 2-inch wide stock, and then we're gonna make it about 4 inches long. I want to make a nice big billet because we're gonna be, you know, making a number of knives. They're not huge, but we're gonna need that stock. And then of course we've got the 15 and 20 steel, which is the Idaho sawmill blade steel. You can see how much stuff is in the shop here as I walk through the corridor. This is our 15 and 20 stock, and I've been using that for a while. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Came from North Idaho. And now it's going to be some cool knives. So that's our 15 and 20 stock. Some people ask about the heat treat combination and the difference in those steels. How do you heat treat two different steels like that? That's a great question. And the answer to that really comes down to the metallurgy of how you're heat treating the steel. So the 15 and 20 is a eutectoid steel. It's got 0.8% carbon in it, so it's basically 1080 steel with nickel content in it. And that is very simple to heat treat. You simply get it up to austenizing temperature, and once you're there, you're pretty much ready to quench it. The nickel content slows that down a touch, but to my knowledge, nothing comparable to anything more than like a short hold or soak time. And I always hold my blades at about 10 to 15 minutes anyway. The 50 to 100 steel with the 1.5% chromium in it and the austenizing temperature that I use, we're only putting about the same amount of carbon, 6.6 to 0.8% carbon into solution. And so what you actually end up with is a very similar carbon content in the martensite that you're tempering. And as far as the austenizing temperature, it's the same for both of those as well. So all that to say, you have two pretty different steels, and you end up with two steels that are actually working together quite well in the final heat treat and final product. So that's the quick and short, that's the quick and easy or short answer to that question, which is a valid question. And of course that, that doesn't translate across any combination of steel. It translates across certain combinations of steel, but that's where it's at with that.
Between 1900 and 2018, the length of time, the brilliant Hoover Institution economist explains it this way.
All right, here's the plan. I'm gonna do a 0 atmosphere forge weld on this, which means we're going to put it in a can. Essentially, we're going to encase it in some mild steel plate, and we're going to run it in the Whisper Daddy forge, big 3 burner. That's going to just, with this 52100 steel, you have to get it a little bit, I feel like you have to get a little bit hotter. It still welds up fine, forge welds up fine, but maybe not quite as easy as your 1080, 1095. So anyway, so what I want to do is I want to just be able to cook that billet, you know what I mean? Not overheat it, but make sure that it's soaked. It's up to temp, especially with these thicker pieces of 52100 at the 1/4 inch here. So we're just going to do it that way. That way you don't have to worry about any inclusions or anything like that. And with this big of a billet, I don't want to ruin anything, waste a bunch of steel, because this is it's not cheap. This isn't cheap. So we're gonna go with the 5-inch length on the billet, and then we're gonna do, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches wide, something like that. We'll see what we have here for stock, but I'm probably gonna go ahead and cut up the entire 3 pieces. All right, that's what we got so far for the 52100, plus 3 more pieces. And then I've got the entire section of saw blade marked up here. We're gonna go ahead and cut it all up, because I'm gonna probably do some double layers in there. All right, this is all our steel. This is all but 3 pieces off of those 3 long bars of 52100. I still have 3. I could get 3 more is what I'm trying to say, but I think I'm going to save that for the project I mentioned. And then this is all of the saw steel off of that 1 piece. So pretty good chunk of steel. 5 by 2 approximately inches, of course. So if we use all of this steel, we're going to have a billet that's about 6 3/4 wide, which I don't know if I'm going to use all of this saw steel, but just to get a idea, I guess I probably need to start doubling it up right away, or we're going to have a whole bunch of extra saw steel left. I don't know. So I was brainstorming some ideas about how to make these available for sale, and several people have already expressed interest in, or a couple people I guess has expressed interest in specific serial numbers, and I'm sure there will be more people that will probably like that. But what I think I might do is I'm not going to take any deposits on these, but what I think I might do is maybe we'll sell like a bid spot for like $10, and then, you know, that would have to be first come first served basis too. And then, you know, if you're the first bid spot, you get to pick your serial number first, and then so forth on to the next person. And, you know, if you don't want to buy a bid spot, you can just pick up whatever's left, of course. So we'll see what we got here. I don't know, maybe most of these will, if I do double layers and everything, that'll be almost perfect. Which that'll still be fine. That'd still be fine. Okay, yeah, so I guess I need to remove some double layers actually. That'd be just fine. A good amount of steel for a billet, and I think we should easily be able to get our 20 knives out of it, and maybe have a little extra too. All right, guys, that's a good start to our special Puukko project. And tomorrow, probably, should be tomorrow, we'll get all that steel cleaned up on the grinder, put together and encased in a nice canister, and then forge weld that whole thing together, pull it out. Well, I don't want to explain it all because you guys are going to watch it. So anyway, this is fun. I think it's fun. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I expect what will probably happen is they're all going to be sold before we even get done with the series. And by sold, I mean everybody ready to pick one up. Tell me what you think about the bid idea. I'm not sure of another way to do that exactly. I don't want to take deposits on them. I just want to go ahead and get the project complete, and then when they're ready, everybody can pick theirs up. And if they have a bid spot, then that should make that fairly simple. If you have a better idea, let me know in the comments, and we'll talk about it. So I'm sure we have plenty of time to figure it out. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and shape some hatchet handles and get those done here. As always, appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you on the next video.